Hello, hello, hello. What it
Oh,
do? What it do?
girl, it's nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great.
You look good.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yay. If you don't mind, we're gonna just wait a few more minutes for people to join, if that's okay.
Okay, no problem. I'll be sipping on my appetizer.
How was your birthday thing?
It was alright. I'll end up landing in Cape Town. So I found myself in Cape Town. I don't know how. I woke up next morning. I'm in Cape Town.
Hi.
It's really crazy. How are you? When is school opening?
Yo, that one, it's a long story, that one.
When are you guys gonna open school?
Technically, we are open, but it's like it's missions. Well, I don't know if like
Oh,
people have,
okay, I see.
I don't know if people have classes and stuff yet, but yeah, but it's missions.
No, when you guys rock, I'll be back there to record and do the right things.
Hey, I don't even know if we'll still be able to do such things, hey? Yo,
Um, Pandemic is fucking a lot of things up. Cap.
listen. Hey,
Mm.
but we move. All right, shall we get started? Oh no.
Yo, whose connection? Whack.
Yo,
Is it better now?
okay, I'll be.
That's mine.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, we're
okay.
back.
Oh, oh. Is it a lot better?
Yeah. All right, should we start?
Sure, no problem.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Let's rock.
So, why don't you start off by introducing yourself to the people?
My name is Courtney Mthethwa, also known as XXC Legacy, a rapper, musician, a fashion show director, and an actress, also a voiceover artist.
Yes. Okay. So what got you into music?
I've always been like a musician ever since I was 4 years old. My mom told me that once there was an advert playing on DSTV, and I told her I want this, and then it was a violin. So she got me a violin at the age of 4, and I started playing violin. And then there was no money to pay for lessons, so we just cut it out. But I've always had that music taste ever since I was young. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And are there any other instruments that you play besides the violin?
And I know how to play violin a little bit, but my main instruments are piano, clarinet, flute. And then the rest of the other instruments I can try do something, like play a song or something, which is the bass guitar.
Yeah. Okay, okay. Dang, girl, you can do a lot.
You know what time it is.
Okay, and so then when did you start rapping or when did you get into rapping?
I started rapping when I was 16 years old. At the time, I got heartbroken, so I didn't know how to deal with my heartbreak. So I decided to just try and express myself through a different form instead of poetry, unlike most females do. So I just decided, you know what, I'm not gonna cry about this. I just wanna have a different view about this emotionally and become a bad bitch. So I decided, you know what, let me rap about this and express myself in a different form so that people don't have to see the emotional side to me. So I became a rapper.
Okay, okay. And so then at which point in your life did you decide that like music was the thing, specifically rapping was the thing that you wanted to do?
I think when I dropped my first song, I didn't drop it with the intentions of blowing up, but I dropped it because I was angry and I wanted to point across. So when that song blew up and it got a lot of recognition and people at school were singing it when I would walk past, I just knew that, wow, if I was angry and I made this song, imagine how much anger I need, or what will happen to me if I go ham on other songs and people
Yeah.
enjoy my craft. That's when I knew that this is for me.
Okay. So as you said, because I actually forgot about this part, but as you said, you're a voiceover artist as well.
Yeah.
How did that whole situation start? When did you get into that?
It started off, I think it was in 2017. My mom works in marketing, so she'd always analyze adverts in front of me, like, oh, did you see this advert did this? So she'd analyze the whole, advert in terms of this is what it's lacking, this is the marketing skills. But when she used to point it out to me, like, look at this advert, I'll just focus on the simple things like the voiceovers or the catchy things that make me remember the advert. So it started off in 2016 or 17 where there was a Trivago advert and I was just so obsessed with Trivago. So I'd memorize it all the time and I'd use that saying all the time, like it was my slogan to be like Hotel Trivago. And then I'd also impersonate the network voiceovers like
like
MTN and
NTN
so
and so
forth.
forth.
And
Yeah.
then my mom was just like, actually, dude, you've got a voice. Let's try something. And then Game called me and I did an advert for them. And from then I started expanding into Coke and Fanta and so forth.
And do you enjoy doing voiceovers?
Voiceovers is the easiest thing. Like I literally spend 30 minutes in studio.
And you get that paper. Okay, that's dope. Okay, so now let's get to the good stuff. Let's talk about your baby, your pride and joy, the Legacy Fashion Show. So,
So basically,
yeah, tell us about what is LFS basically?
um, I think a lot of people don't know this about the show. People
Show
think
people.
that Legacy Fashion Show is one whole big thing. No, Legacy Fashion Show is like a different point on my fashion show. So I have legacy events, I have XXC Legacy events, and underneath that forms different subdivisions. So the Legacy Fashion Show is just a subdivision of the fashion shows that I do. So every year I host a fashion show to give the youth a platform to showcase themselves through modeling, rapping, poetry, beat making, designing, and so forth. So we basically just make sure that we gather people around and people express themselves through those forms. So that's basically what Legacy Fashion Show is about.
Okay, and how did LFS start?
LFS started when people from outside my school asked me, yo, when's the next show? When's the next show? I was just like, what? What are you talking about? Next show? No, no, no. I did that in high school. And people were like, no, we want another show. So people from high school as well asked me, yo, can we join your team? So I was like, what team? I do this alone. I don't know what you're talking about. And then we ended up forming LFS, and LFS literally was the biggest show. LFS, that subdivision, has been the biggest show that I've ever done because of the teamwork that I have, engaged with. So yeah.
And so like what are the challenges that come with, running a show like LFS? Because I mean, you're not just doing clothes, like you said, it's music, it's rapping, it's poetry. So what challenges have you faced with that?
Well, the biggest challenges is speaking with the theater or speaking with the events. I mean, most of the time when you host an event, people want an established company. People want someone that's established. People want someone that knows what they're doing. However, when I get involved with the theater, sometimes they don't take you seriously because you're not an established business. So those are the challenges that I encounter. Like they'll think, okay, how can someone so young be doing something so big? And then you'd find out that they want to not con you, but they want to rob you off from, those things. Another challenge is with towards the cast members. Sometimes, most of the time, majority of the time, cast members end up being my friends, and then you find out that people bazokudelela, like they feel like, oh, it's Courtney, I can come to us late. If I say this to Courtney, it's fine because it's Courtney. That's also a big challenge. As much as we don't really say it as team members, it's a huge challenge for us as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And also, as an independent artist, what other challenges have you faced as an independent artist?
Um, a lot of people want to sign you without you knowing like the pros and cons towards the deal. So a challenge that I face is that someone would want to give me a deal which looks good, but they won't tell me about, oh, these are the negative outcomes that will come forth with this deal. And also another challenge that most people experience is being a female. Already being a female is such a challenge. So imagine being a female in the industry. Obviously, people would want to, do things for you, and in exchange, you have to sleep with them, which will go against my morals. And
Yeah,
that's a challenge because if you're not going to be sleeping with them, then you're going to have to like stay at the bottom of the rank. And I don't mind doing that. If it means that five people are going to be listening to my music, I don't mind that. Than for me to try and get to the top, knowing that I fucked my way to the top.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And so, you have all of these things going on. You're such, I think, probably one of the most hardworking people I've ever met in my life.
Thank you.
So how do you balance everything? Because I mean, it's a lot. I mean, it's your career in music, it's LFS. How do you balance everything?
Um, Honestly speaking, I feel like I've always been able to juggle a lot of things in my hands, but when things get too much for me, people obviously don't take this. But I feel like the best thing that anyone could do if they feeling like things are a lot is to leave things in God's hands. I mean, if you let God take control of certain situations, I mean, you'll be able to balance a lot of things in your life. You'll be able to control a lot of things in your life. So when I feel like a lot of weight is on my shoulders, I just cobra God and I'm just like, yo, God, let's rock.
Going down in that house, eh?
Yeah. Let me hectic this Wi-Fi is stupid.
Ah, there we go. We're back. Are we back? Hmm. Network. Is it her or is it me? Oh, hi. Network these past few days has been trash. Um, I don't know if I should. Yeah, let me just hang. Okay, yeah, there we go. Yep. Just waiting for her to join.
I am back.
Welcome.
I'm so
We're
sorry. There's with the Wi-Fi. Yeah.
cool. I'm gonna ask the question again because yeah, network was doing us dirty. So how
Okay.
do you balance everything that you have going on in your life?
I manage everything by the grace of God. So I speak to the Lord and I ask Him to take control of certain situations that I cannot control. So
Mm,
sometimes people do certain things in order to pull themselves towards themselves. They might be, listening to music, meditating. So one of my forms of meditation is prayer. So when I want to control certain things, I speak to the Lord and I say, God, handle this your time. Like rock, let's rock.
yeah. And then okay, I have one more question and then I'm done. Um, what advice would you give to young women like yourself who have big ambitions, who want to, do big things, but I don't want to say intimidated, but intimidated by the fact that, there's so many males in this industry, and already as a woman in general, it's hard, to go through life and to be taken seriously. What encouragement would you give as a young woman to other young women?
So I would tell them to never give up, number one. Number two, you will get all different types of criticism, bad or good, but no matter what the outcome is, make sure that you trust and believe in yourself. And also, doubt can come a long way. Sometimes we push and we push and strive to say that I want to reach this goal, I want to be here, but it doesn't happen. You need to understand that your timing and God's timing is not right. So just because someone in the industry that is next to you and does the same thing as you blows up, that doesn't mean that you're not talented. It just means that God's timing and your timing is two different things. And the day you blow up, never forget God and what you do. Yeah.
That's dope. I mean, I've reached the end of my questions. Is there anything more that you'd like to add, or is that you?
Shout out to your live sessions. I'm so proud of you. Keep it up. I'm also really proud. Like it's going well. Never stop giving up as well. Next thing you know, this could blow up into something really amazing as well. So I'm proud of you. Keep it up. Keep it going.
I'm
Brand power.
you, fam.
You by
Had to give us a young devil there.
you know what time it is.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me, man. I really do appreciate it.
No problem.
And enjoy the rest of your stay in Cape Town. I hope you have a blast with your grape tizer.
Time I'm drinking grape ties and thinking it's wine, but
And
thank you
enjoy the
so
rest
much.
of the evening, nah?
Bye bye.
Ciao.